Go ahead.
What's up, YouTube? Destination Kings Athletics coming at you from Riverside, California. Machine Gun Silva in the house, wearing purple for the Lakers. But today is not. We're not talking about the Lakers, guys. We're going to talk about Derrick Rose, D. Rose. Question is he a Hall of Famer or is he not? He's the youngest guy to ever get an MVP, but is he a Hall of Famer, guys? Coming at you right now. All right, guys. You heard the topic. You heard the intro. Destination Kings Athletics, Machine Gun Silva. Is D. Rose a Hall of Famer? Youngest guy to ever get an MVP, but is he a Hall of Famer? That's the question. What do you think?
I think he is.
You think he's a Hall of Famer?
Simple fact that he is an MVP type of player in this league.
Was or is?
He was.
Was.
And there's history there. So obviously he's lost a lot. He's lost a lot with all his injuries. But that doesn't take away from what he did. He had a MVP type of year. So if he would have stayed healthy, I think we'd see more MVPs. So, having said that, not a lot of players come in the NBA that can put up MVP kind of stats and numbers.
Yes.
So the guy was
he was an MVP type player.
He was an MVP type
when
of
he
player.
first came in, man. I would watch him like he's going to the hole and he would hit somebody with the dribble like this, and then he'd go up for a tomahawk. I mean, he was doing that as he was going to the hole. Or you would see these crazy clips where he's dunking over somebody tomahawk style. And they would hit him in the air, and then he would move in the air, and then he would still just power slam the thing.
Throws himself up in the air like
that
like
guy was
damn trampoline or something.
My God, he had trampoline for
the
sure.
reason I say he's an MVP, or I'm sorry, a Hall of Famer, is because you can't be an MVP in this league and not be a Hall of Famer. Plain and simple.
Really?
If you have that kind of talent, and 6'3", what is he, 180 pounds?
70, 80 pounds. He's a small guy. I mean, a thin guy. 6'3", that's a pretty light dude.
That's something, man. That's something. He did something in this league, even though it was 1 year, and then he's been plagued by
injury after bad attitude, after God knows what else.
But that doesn't mean the guy's not a Hall of Famer. He may not be first ballot because obviously he didn't put up the long-term...
The longevity.
Day in and day out.
But the problem is that people are going to remember this Derrick Rose. They're not going to remember the old Derrick Rose. So when people look at him, you forget about the Derrick Rose that was in the Bulls when he first came in. That dude was a freak of nature, man. He was like a Westbrook.
Yeah.
With probably more jumping power. Would you say he jumped higher than Westbrook?
Well, I'm gonna sum this up right now. Everybody knows they watched the '80s. Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway was one of those players too. There was once. He was a Hall of Fame player on his way to the Hall of Fame, but he never got an MVP award.
Never did.
He never did, but then he started having knee problems and ankle problems.
He had Shaq to pass through.
But on that same token, this guy came in the league and he tore up the league. His first, second year, man, that guy was on fire.
But he had Noah to pass to. Big difference. Shaq and Noah, big difference.
Big difference, yeah. So you don't pass to Noah, you just go to the hole.
You go to the
and
hole.
That's exactly what he did.
Dunk on people.
But my point is that he was voted MVP.
He was.
You don't get voted MVP in this league, in the NBA, if you're extraordinary. You have to be extraordinary. So if you're extraordinary like that, you have that kind of talent, that kind of potential, that kind of will, then you are a Hall of Famer. Just plain and simple.
He did it all with no jump shot. His jump shot's weird.
Yeah.
But man, could he go to the hole? That guy was
he's a monster.
He's a
monster, 6'3", 180 pounds.
That's a monster. But the problem was his body wasn't strong enough. In other words, his muscles put out so much energy that it just tore his body apart.
It's almost like having a stronger transmission than your engine or something like that.
Tear
or
something
vice
up.
versa. It's just they're not compatible.
It was just too that muscle fiber was just too aggressive, and it just tore the knees, man. Because he would just, like he said, drive to the hole and just go up. He didn't care if you're hanging on him or someone's in the middle. He didn't care. He'd want to go through you, over you.
The talent and the ability is undeniable. Undeniable.
But he's a shell of himself now.
You know, I hate to admit it, but obviously he's not himself anymore, and that's sad.
So is he a regular point guard now?
I think he's a below average point guard now.
Below average point guard.
Well, you know,
Derrick Rose.
he put up 17 points last year, the whole season, so that's still respectable. That's not bad. So
that's a good career.
That's like an average.
That's a really good long career.
Average pro player.
He's still making. I think he's getting paid. What kind of money is he getting paid?
He's not getting paid nothing by Cleveland.
He's not top tier seller.
No, Cleveland picked him up for less than.
Minimum. I think was it.
Minimum,
was it the minimum?
Yeah. And that's a shame because you're talking about an MVP type caliber player, and they picked him up for pennies. And
he was the
that's
next
sad,
guy to come in. He was the guy when he came in. Everybody was like, "Ooh, Derrick Rose, that guy is a monster." A couple years later, man, it just
those injuries, man,
hit the wall.
I don't know if he jumps too high, but it probably a combination of too many things, because the guy was a freak. And when you're a freak of nature like that, your body has to slow down at some point. And if you're not in excellent shape or whatever it is you don't do, I don't know. We don't know his work ethic, because he was a natural type of talent, freak of nature, you know. So unfortunately, you know, those injuries are catching up to him and he's slowing down. But once again, I still don't take anything away from him what he did. That 1 year he had in the NBA,
those couple years in the Bulls,
man, those are unbelievable. He's unstoppable. The next coming to LeBron and those guys, and it just didn't
happen. He was going to bring the Bulls back to the promised land, but it just didn't happen. The guy is just too brittle. But it's not that he was too brittle. I think that those muscles were just putting too much power into that body, and I think the body couldn't handle it.
But your question is, do I think he's a Hall of Famer?
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I think so, just on the fact that he got an MVP. How many players play in the NBA? I've been watching the NBA for years, since the 80s. Not every player becomes an MVP type of player. So
he did it.
He did it.
And
so
he did it when he was,
that's something, man.
When he was relatively new in the league.
That's something to say about him. He was there. He was very
He
close.
was right there. Imagine if he would have never gotten hurt, guys. This guy would have been, who knows where he'd be right now.
It would be great watching him play right now.
It'd have been unbelievable.
Him against LeBron. I mean,
his knee injury stole his talent from all of us. I mean, we would love to be watching him dunking over people, but it just couldn't do it, guys. Hall of Famer?
Hall of Famer.
You heard
second ballot.
You heard second ballot, but he is a Hall of Famer.
He deserves it.
He deserves it, guys. You heard it from Machine Gun Silva. Derrick Rose, Hall of Famer. Destination Kings, Machine Gun Silva, Destination Kings Athletics. Come on, guys. YouTube me. Check me out on all social media. Destination Kings Athletics.
Give us topics.
Let us know what you want, man. If you want to, if you like it, dislike it, do what you got to do. Subscribe. Let us know, man. Thanks.